But there are a couple of things in the world of DC on film that are worth discussing, including one that amazing listener Chris Roach, who had us come to the Kip Moore concert a couple weeks ago, he wanted us to chime in on this interesting little juicy rumor that arrived in the last few days. Did you hear this one, Brett? That
Yeah.
Warner Brothers was apparently looking to replace Ezra Miller, and they were looking at that Dylan, what's his name? The guy
Dylan
from
O'Brien.
Dylan O'Brien, possibly, to replace Ezra Miller. And that rumor came courtesy of Screen Geek. And even just full stop, as soon as I saw the source, I went, I'm not so sure about that. I've never,
Right.
I'm like, Screen Geek, that's not, for news like this, I tend to trust the trades. Or if we're going to do a more fanboy type blog ish, I suppose I would have, like, I thought maybe at first it was Screen Rant. I'm like, Screen Rant, I might pay some attention to.
Right.
But honestly, comicbook.com and ones of that sort of size are the ones I listen to. Screen Geek, I'm not so sure about that. So I just, before we get into whether or not it ended up being true, do you think that do you think that they should consider recasting? Do you think that like the public relations of these last few months is going to come back to bite them on the press tour? So maybe they want to like transition away from Miller, or is it just the film's been shot? Just keep them and we'll figure the rest out later. What do you think?
Yeah,
Brett?
I mean, I think if he can stay out of trouble between now and the movie's release next, July or
Yeah.
or no, June, right? June 23rd. It's your birthday.
It's my birthday.
So I mean, we have like a whole nother year. So if he can stay out of trouble until then, I think it's fine. I think if there's like another incident or something that's like more severe than what's happened already, I think they may want to do something about that. But
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about reshooting like the entire movie pretty much.
Yeah.
And then now you have to work schedules and you have Keaton back and like, listen, they could do some horrible CGI, whatever, like Rush Job, which would
Yeah.
not be good. We've seen that not be good in the past for lesser things, for mustaches. So now getting someone's face on there for a million scenes is going to be awkward. So I don't know Dylan O'Brien through a hole in the wall. I don't know what has he done. I don't know.
Like the Teen Wolf reboot series on MTV and the Maze Runner, I think, something like that.
Oh, Maze Runner. That's right. That sounds familiar. Okay. Yeah. So I really don't know him as far as like him being like a good replacement or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I think Ezra Miller, they need to get help. And if they can stay out of trouble, I think it's fine. Leave him in, just and then maybe you can do something after the fact. If it's still like an issue or he's acting erratic or something like that. You have to imagine. I mean, like I wonder if other people have seen that on like the studio side in any interactions they've had where he's been maybe weird or something. Or on
he's
other
been
sets.
on enough. He's been on enough Warner Brothers sets. You'd think he would.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He was known for being a hassle. That reputation would exist by now through 3 Fantastic Beast movies, through 3 different DC things he's been involved with so far. I think he hasn't developed a reputation really for being a problem. So I feel like that might be one of the things that's giving the studio, one of the reasons they're giving him a little leeway. But as it turns out, Brett, we don't really have to be worrying about this because someone who writes for a publication I very much trust, which is Variety, has chimed in to more or less debunk that rumor entirely. So Variety's Adam B. Vary shared that Warner Brothers is not considering replacing Ezra Miller as Barry Allen on 2023's The Flash. Here's what he said. I'm told that WB is not considering replacing Ezra Miller. Miller was arrested twice in Hawaii this year, once for disorderly conduct and harassment, and again for second-degree assault. So he didn't, he didn't give many more details than that, but just he checked with the studio. They are not looking to replace him at this time, and I tend to trust what they're telling Variety. I don't think Screen Geek suddenly got the scoop that Dylan O'Brien is gonna be our next Flash.
Sure.